Alright. This is gonna go terribly. I say, and then I get 600 damage in my first attack. Um, I am actually concerned about the subs with this, if I'm being completely honest. Um, so, like, I don't want to reset that the first 600 damage, especially because the Dreadnought didn't actually attack. But we'll see how terrible. Okay. That's not as terrible as I thought it would end up. Just want to suppress the Dreadnought. I will also want... Okay, that's good. No breach. I'm resetting this. I think I should still go for the subs first. Okay, if we breach, nope. How much health does the Dreadnought have anyway? 3,800. Okay. Like I would expect about 200 to 250 damage per attack. I'm actually getting really good RNG with my starting attacks here, but I'm not killing the subs. Which I feel like I do need to one-tap them. And like the easy thing would just be putting a fish in, but that also... This might not be as terrible as I'm expecting. And then... Like I kind of do want to put a fish in, but at the same time that's not clearing the Dreadnought with only power boats. Yeah, this is... I thought I'd be getting crit a whole lot more. And like, if this goes to shit like I'm completely expecting it, well, I'm just gonna kill this thing with my clads. Breach? Breach and I continue. Damn it. I think what I'm going to need is to one-shot the first sub, and then the first attack against me is a submachine gun. I think that's how this is gonna have to go. Preferably a machine gun on the buoy, but this front power boat is going to die. Yeah, like that was gonna kill the sub, but I'm not taking all that damage on turn 1 when I can still reset for it. Whee! I don't think it can crit and one-shot my power boats, which is a silver lining. Yeah, and if I'm just getting non-crits like that, it's like 40% chance to crit, so it's definitely high. Like it can take a crit and then one other hit on the checkerboard, or it can take 3 hits without crits on the checkerboard, I believe. Breach. But I like that first move, so... nope. Uh-oh. That was actually quite nice that it did that. Because these things will get killed by... Ooh. Ooh. I'll hit the Dreadnought now. And hopefully And now the Dreadnought's suppressed, or the other sub will machine gun. Aw, I needed a machine gun there. But yeah, the powerboats will die to the depth charge the same way that M10s will if they get hit by like 2 or 3 of them. You know what? Let's definitely not. This would be so much easier if I didn't need to deal with the subs, like if I just dropped a fish. Breach. Nope. But I do like the sub shooting the MG, so if this goes no. Those are 2 good turns to have, but both subs are still alive, and I don't fuck with that. Okay. Machine gun. Reset. Reset. Nope, it's a submachine gun, so reset. That's not a bad hit to take from the Dreadnought, but because it's so early, maybe I would still. That's an excellent hit to take from the Dreadnought, but the subs are still alive. I don't know how bad it would be to... Okay. How bad it would be to keep the subs alive, but I just don't like the idea of it, and... we're gonna see on this one. Okay, now we shoot this to actually suppress the Dreadnought, and then my next hit will... I thought that powerboat had a chance of lifting. Good, good. Kill. Good, good. Also, shoot the Dreadnought to suppress now. I will not shoot the Dreadnought to suppress now. That is an excellent, excellent depth charge. These guys are all in 1-tap range from a crit, though. So, we'll see. This is the best start I've had, but I still don't like it because I didn't touch that other sub. Okay. The sub shoots. Okay, sub shot, so we are... What's the chances that that sub just gets mopped up later? That hit probably would have one-shot it. I don't like it. Yeah, trying to kill these subs is just about as frustrating as I kind of expected it would be. But that's a really good hit to take because it only crit one of the boats and it deflected on 2 of them. This would be so terrible if the Dreadnought could actually one-shot crit these powerboats. Die. Nope. I think I'm gonna do one run that goes deep And then after that, I'm just gonna resort back to the, just use my clads. Oh, I needed you to use the machine. Oh. Okay. I want to say reset here. Yeah, I'm resetting. Like, this is going so well from, that was going so well from the hits that I took, but I just wasn't doing anything actually that time. Like, I will need to get a lot of double hits like I did against the Kraken if there's any chance of this working. Okay, breach there, other sub uses the machine gun, or the Dreadnought doesn't crit on any of them. This would also be so much easier. This would be so much easier if my machine gun could actually hit the subs. Okay, because I like that, I will be... This has to breach or I'm resetting. I don't want to reset off of that hit, though. That's not a bad hit to take. That was also not a bad hit to take, but... yeah, this is a reset. That's a terrible hit to take. Reset. What I'm becoming more and more convinced on as I do this is that this is not an impossibility. I thought this was just gonna be like, oh, haha, stupid idiot, trying stupid idiot things. It worked on the Kraken because the Kraken can only, like almost every turn, can only really kill one boat at a time. But for the Dreadnought, it's like, oh, haha, it can hit half your power boats and put them into two-shot range. Alright. If a sub shoots, we continue. If that breaches, we continue. Uh-oh. That wasn't even that bad of a depth charge to take. Alright. Never mind. It definitely doesn't feel like my breach chance is 25% right now, but also law of large numbers. Lol. This front power boat is going to be cooked and there's just no way around it. But... yeah, breach chance 25%. Okay. Never mind. Actually, let's see. Nope, reset. And this is gonna be a depth. Oh, it's not a depth charge. I think this is more RNG dependent than the Powerboat Kraken was. I really do. The reasoning is, I said earlier, I don't even know if I'm gonna upload VOD, probably not. The reasoning is that the Kraken can, after the first spit, which can just screw you entirely, after that it can really only has a chance of killing one boat at a time, whereas the Dreadnought can wipe half of them with the checker. But it can't one-shot them, which is a big deal. That sub's not dying to this, and that was more damage than I wanted to take anyway. I like it when they machine gun, but I'm willing to take 2 turns to kill the second sub, but I kind of need to one-shot the first, I think, is where I'm going to stand on this. Alright, breaching we go. I don't hate that first turn, though. It was not something I exactly wanted to reset. We'll go depending on the we are resetting. I was gonna say if the Dreadnought shoots there because it's suppressed, but it wasn't. That's a good hit to take. That's a really good hit to take. I want to check something. Okay, it does have Battleship tag, which means I have a 20% crit, or 21% crit chance against it instead of the 11% base crit that I have against the subs. That's actually going to be a big deal because I had the 11% breach. Okay. Because I had the 11% chance when I did this against the Kraken, and ooh. Gonna suppress you. Hopefully the sub hit the release. I could keep going. I like that because, okay, it does put that powerboat into the one-shot crit range. But, oops. Has more health than I want to gamble to turn it. Yeah, that's a reset. I don't hate this. I'm gonna say it. If this kills the sub, we're going. We are not going. Yeah, I've decided that like 300-ish damage first attack is acceptable if the second sub is going to take a lot, but then again, it just risks that the Dreadnought's depth charge comes off cooldown after I attack twice. Which is really the only thing that can kill boats on the second turn. Unless the first turn is the frontline sweep that does a good chunk to this one in the front. What am I saying? It's if this boat gets hit the first turn, then it can die turn 2. If I had killed the sub, I would have kept testing the waters on that run. I am cautiously optimistic about this once I actually get a run past the subs. Because then I could be suppressing the Dreadnought every turn. Promising. This is not terrible. Depth charge. That's still not terrible, actually, because now that's on court. Oh no, that's not even gonna suppress it, and now I'm cooked. I could have continued there. That was actually like a top 1% depth charge hit to take. But because the sub was... I didn't even go for the sub, it's... Yeah, the subs are making this so much more difficult than it would be just killing the actual Dreadnought itself. Breach, 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 breach. Okay. I want the machine gun or a buoy attack from this sub. How much health left? We're gonna see how this plays out. I don't like that enough to want to continue. Ooh, cheers to that. Ooh, breach. Okay, front line sweep, or uh-oh. Yo, we might be cooking here. Alright. This is going to be my last attempt at this. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to the clads. Alright, please don't... Oh! Okay. This is not going well. I need crits on this one or I'm backing out. Yeah. I wasn't... that was an excellent start, I just wasn't dealing enough damage. But, this is doable. That's what I'm learning here. This is doable. Not when I get hit like that, it's not. And not when I do a hit like that, it's not. Don't even know if there's a metagame way to use the boats to try to manage the cooldowns, because like essentially everything's in two-shot range at the start of the fight. Okay, I do like that. I don't want to lose that boat to the checker pattern when there's when the first sub isn't dead. If I get a... and I'll finish that in the next reset. If I get a clad in this from this, someone is going to flip their shit. Solid. I feel like I shouldn't be so stingy on this front line boat, because even in a successful run, it's going to die. I just don't want to lose it after only attacking once, basically. Not when it's avoidable. Humor me. I don't hate this, and that's what's annoying. But because they're both still alive, I don't want to spend another 2 turns on them. I need one of them to get one shot. Of course, that's the turn that breaches it. 25% chance, by the way. That's not going... Okay, I was gonna say that's not going to kill it, but I could still keep going if I had a one-shot at the second one. But that was more damage than I was willing to take from the Dreadnought. Humor me. Nope. That's the nice thing about going for risky things like that when the subs are alive. Maybe I'm not going to get glassed by a depth charge. Breach, breach, breach. Solid. Very solid. Nope. If the other one breached, I would still be going. But the fortunate thing is that the subs, like, don't crit against gunboats. So I don't need to be worried about that the way I... yeah, they only crit against subs. They should also crit against battleships too, though. Maybe it's just my sub that does that. Let me check. I don't even see base crit listed, but I have definitely crit battleships with that, so I don't know what's going on there. Here's the thing, that's not terrible. If this breaches, we keep going. Lol. Good. This one getting crit, I don't like that. Actually, I don't like the front... I dislike the front one getting crit more. Because if the front one didn't get crit, I might have been willing to take the sweep to gamble on killing the second sub. Nope. Maybe I should post the VOD to just let people draw their own conclusions about how powerboats actually are. Because, like, the thing that I upload is just going to be my closest attempt or my clear. Which obviously doesn't show the full picture of me resetting 30 minutes at this point. Uh-oh. Because these don't have battleship attack, they don't take increased damage against that depth charge. I'm willing to risk the life of that boat for this, because the first sub is dead and this is a retreat. I was gonna say, unless that only hits the buoys, we're retreating. Good. Good! Again, I am willing to risk the life of this boat. Ideally, this sub that's about to die would have used its machine gun. Okay. Nope. If I'm gonna take that hit, the first sub needs to be very dead. Like that. And now I'd be willing to take a big crit on this one from the front line, and that was workable because the sub was dead. It's just not ideal. If that breaches, we might be going. Hit the buoys. I still could send this. I don't want to, but I could have. Breach. Nope, definitely not. I'm not taking more than one crit on the first time it uses that attack. And I'll take crits on the buoys. But if more than one powerboat gets crit on the first checker, I am resetting. Lol. Yeah, it's not willing to risk the life of this boat on a first turn that doesn't kill a sub. This, on the other hand, most certainly not. Ideal, once again, would have been for this sub that was going to die to breach the turn after to machine gun the buoy. But I need turn 1 this sub to die, and then turn 2 the next sub gets close to dying, which I finish off maybe on turn 3. It depends on what the enemy AI does. If that first sub was dead, I would have continued there, I very much would have continued on that one. Okay. I just keep throwing my head at the wall and I will eventually make it work. Or lose all of my power boats and then say screw this and pull out the Glads. I don't care if that doesn't breach, but... Kill. Alright, we'll see what the Dreadnought does. If the checkerboard was off cooldown, I would have continued on that run. Yeah, we risk this. That front powerboat might die now, but... if that sub targeted the buoys, I would have went to suppress the Dreadnought and I would have continued. Kill. Those are good first turns because they were... because the enemy subs were just using the machine guns. But because they were both still alive, we reset. And we reset this one, because I will not have both of them dead by turn 3. Looks like the Dreadnought remembered that it can shoot again. Good. Not good. I was excited and then it crit the last two. If it crit one of them, I would have continued there. Alright, we're back. First turn was the machine gun, which I didn't need, but... one crit would have been a continue. That's like one of the best things that can happen there, but because my powerboat whiffed entirely, it's a reset. But I would love for another frontline attack that just deflects off of my frontliner. Just get a nice suppression on you. And hopefully you attack, hopefully you do nothing. And... this needs to kill the sub, otherwise I'm resetting. Wait. The sub used the machine gun. Okay, that's a reset. I thought the sub was gonna torpedo, but I was like, I have another turn for this, and... Okay, it's not the best that it didn't go for a buoy, but this is gonna be a reset anyway. Yeah, I'm not taking that. Whee! Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. That's not a terrible hit to take because I had a deflection. Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it. Yeah, that's an unconditional retreat after the first turn. Submachine gun. Turn 1. Kill? No kill. I am so much less scared of the depth charge than the checkerboard right now, but it's just out of running this with battleships. It's still just apprehension. One crit and I keep going. Just the apprehension from using battleships every time it just shits out the mines like that. First sub's not dead. I am not taking that. No. Did more damage than I wanted it to. Namely, it put it very much into one-hit checker range. Lol. That sub was dead. We continue there. Not worth it. Okay. Okay. This is a risky move, with the checkerboard potential to wipe that boat, but wait a second. Yeah, well, let's target the Dreadnought itself. 129 couldn't have been with that crit. Kill. Machine gun. Your torpedo is off cooldown, okay, but we suppress the Dreadnought now. 312 isn't bad. Reset. Do we reset? Both of the next time it uses a checkerboard, I'm losing a boat. Am I fine with that? No, I've only done 500 damage to it. I should also just shoot some of them even when they are suppressed just to see. Like, I don't know how much it actually matters. If it doesn't go for the booze, I'm resetting. Because I think suppression really only changes the deflection chance, and they're not going to deflect, so... Okay, maybe it does do something. But also, like, I've had plenty of complete whiffs with unsuppressed power boats. Wait, this could be something. That's... I don't hate this. Oh, I don't hate this. I do want to suppress the Dreadnought now, and, bruh? What's the health on this? 390. Cannot take a crit. From the checkerboard. So I keep the Dreadnought suppressed until it does that. And then I'll mop up the sub afterwards. Yo! This might be the run. I don't think it matters all that much which one I use. I think I'm going to need a lot of double crit. I don't think I'm going to get a better run than the one I have right now. But double hits will have to be a big deal coming through for me, and crits would be even nicer. Okay, I started out well, and now it's just bruh all the time. How much health? 1800. Which, like, this is killable if I'm getting hits like that and pretty good crits. But I just had 3 turns that did nothing. And now I'm resorting to using the machine gun. You first. Actually, no, that was a mistake. I should have used the other one first. Alright, that one was on reload anyway. Yeah, if this is doable, it's going to be right now. This is it. Please, okay. I might have this, but it's going to kill this boat next turn with the frontline sweep. It even deflected, but didn't have enough health. Yeah. I think I got it here. Okay, also can I say, bruh? Wow, I was not expecting that to happen.